Hello everybody, I'm SammyFacr.net with another video about Bitcoin. Now the last one of these that I've made was, I think around here, about February 2014 or maybe 15, I'm not sure anymore. But, well, basically I told you guys that, in my opinion, Bitcoin is too volatile and that I don't recommend investing into it. And since then, it has basically increased in value by over 2,000%. Right now, we're at $17,000 per Bitcoin, which is kind of crazy. So most people will say, well, you clearly have to eat crow now. You were wrong about Bitcoin. No, I don't think I'm wrong about Bitcoin. Now, obviously, a lot of people that even bought Bitcoin when I made that video will have had huge profit from that right now, right? Absolutely. But, you know, some people win at the lottery and other people don't. That doesn't mean that playing the lottery is necessarily a wise thing. And my video was essentially about, is it a wise thing? Is it intelligent to invest in Bitcoin? Because it's hugely volatile. It's not backed by anything. It can be stolen very easily and so on. Yeah, a lot of people have made good profits on Bitcoin, as you can see right here. I'm sure a few of the people that have been around for a long time when Bitcoin was like $1 or whatever, they're millionaires right now, right? Maybe even billionaires, who knows? Whatever, like, yeah, I mean, some people win at the lottery. Yeah, that's the case, but that doesn't mean that the Bitcoin lottery is necessarily a wise thing to get into, and I have not bought any Bitcoin so far. Here's why. Here's the main problems about Bitcoin from my point of view is, first of all, the worst one of them is the banking lobby, okay? Now, look at the oil lobby, for example. Big Oil has been a huge power in politics for a long time, and what have they done to protect their power, the oil lobby, I mean? They have toppled a lot of governments, to name a few. We have Iraq, Libya, they attempted it in Syria. They failed, at least now in 2008, end of 2017. They failed pretty much, but they inflicted a lot of damage to basically keep their, not monopoly, but their control over the oil market. Now, let me tell you something. If there's two industries that are more powerful than big oil, it is the military-industrial complex. And the second one, the most powerful of them all, is the banking system, and especially the central banks that control money on this earth. Let me tell you something. If big oil can start a few wars and kill a few million people, big banking can do a lot more. I can guarantee you that. And big banking will not allow it that Bitcoin will actually prevail in the end. They will lobby the states, and basically if it gets to be a thorn in their side, they're going to get rid of it. I can guarantee you that. There's no doubt, absolutely no doubt. Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in general might survive in some places in the world, maybe Africa and so on, where it's really hard to control and states don't have a lot of power. But in the West, I would not expect it. Like, maybe I'm gonna eat crow, but I don't believe so at all. Like, big banking, central banks, the people that control that whole system, they are incredibly powerful. They're, first of all, the people that have all the money in this world, basically, and second of all, they have all the power and all the money to buy politicians. Like, it's not gonna happen. I'm sorry, guys. Crypto is not gonna happen in the long run. It might happen for a few years until it gets too powerful, and then it's gonna go away. Absolutely guaranteed. And the other thing about cryptocurrencies in general and Bitcoin is it is very much a hype culture, as I've already pointed out. All this rise in price, it's basically all hype and speculation, because people don't use Bitcoin to pay for things. Like, I've heard of one guy, personally, in Africa, in South Africa, where they use it, because in South Africa, the thing is, you can still get robbed, you can get killed on the street, you know, there's a lot of armed robberies and so on. Like, it's a really dangerous country, so Bitcoin makes sense. It's very hard to rob you of Bitcoin and so on. It's a lot safer in such an environment. Also, they have huge taxes because they have like a semi-communist, I think, government. So yeah, you want to hide your money from the government, and they can't do much about it because their police force is not strong enough. So Bitcoin makes sense in a place like that, but in the West, people aren't using Bitcoin as a currency. It's all just speculation. It's just people throwing money into it because it's increasing in value. So it's a lottery. It's still a lottery. It's an absolute lottery, because if you look at the numbers, I don't have them right here, but the transaction volume of Bitcoin is basically still the same that it was 2 years ago in 2016. The price has increased, however, in the same time by 1,000%, right? Like by a lot. But what that basically means is not a lot of people are using it to actually, and most of these transactions are probably just people buying Bitcoin. So almost no one, and that's maybe a little bit of an overstatement, almost no one, but very, very few people are actually using Bitcoin as a currency, which means, you know, a thing that you use in transactions that not only not only as an asset, okay, an asset you buy, you know, like real estate or gold and so on, to preserve value, to maybe increase, like, you know, as an investment. Right now, Bitcoin is 99% just an asset that people buy, invest in. And once this spike, you know, this spike in price ends, people will want to get a profit on their investment, and it's going to drop a lot. It's going to drop a lot. And that's how a lottery works. Half the people will turn a profit, especially the ones that bought it early. They will get a profit for sure, no matter how far it drops. But the people that went in later, that are buying Bitcoin now, for example, they're going to get screwed, because with how fast the internet is and everything, like, if people don't have faith anymore that this thing will go on and go even higher and higher and higher, they will drop out, and then more and more people will drop out, and everyone is checking the price of Bitcoin on their phone constantly, so they're ready to drop that Bitcoin at a moment's notice, and it's gonna drop really far. Okay, that is an actual prediction that I'm making. That's an actual prediction. Like, I never said back when I made the last video that Bitcoin wouldn't increase in price. I just said it's not a wise investment because it's not a currency. It's not a wise investment because it's very, very volatile, and you could lose your money very quickly. Now, I didn't know, and nobody knew, how high the price would go. Now, if I had known that it would go to 17,000, I would, sell at 17,000, but you never know. It's a lottery. You never know when you're going to win and when you're going to lose. Just people buying right now, I don't think they'll turn a profit, honestly. That's just how a lottery works. Some people get screwed out of their money, but at least in this lottery, the total amount of money that there is stays the same. So in the real lottery, in the real world, people pay in a lot more money than actually comes out of the lottery. But in this lottery, at least, as much money as is paid into the lottery gets out of the lottery. And I think the people that bought into Bitcoin early, they're doing a great job. Like, it's a very good business decision. They're making their money on hype and hyping people up to buy this thing, so that they have a huge chance of winning in this lottery. Okay, the more hype they generate, the more they're gonna turn a profit in the long run. But anyways, it's still a lottery. Okay, it's still a lottery. Except some people had a little bit better chance of winning because they bought into it early. Anyways, in the long run, I don't think Bitcoin will survive because, as I've said, if big oil can kill a few million people, trust me, big banking is a lot more powerful than big oil. I can guarantee you that. Bitcoin will not survive. Absolutely not. The banking system is far too powerful, and you're naive if you think that a few internet people, a few open source people will have the power to overturn the people that are more powerful than governments. Okay, it's not gonna happen. It is not gonna happen. I'm sorry. I would love a world where that could happen. I would love it. Trust me, I want that to happen. But the realist in me, yeah, it's not gonna happen. I'm sorry, guys. So anyways, I'm not gonna give you guys recommendations. Like, nobody knows how far up this could still go, right? Maybe it can go up to 100,000. Like, it's possible. It's possible that if you still buy right now Bitcoin, that you're still going to be able to turn a profit, and once it inevitably falls, which it will, because it's only an investment at this point, once people lose trust that it's going to go up, they will sell. Absolutely, I can guarantee you that 100%. But how far up it's going to go, I don't know. I don't know. It could go to 20,000, it could go to 30,000, 40, 50, 100,000 even. But point is, it's gonna fall, and the closer to the fall that you buy, the more money you're gonna lose. Okay, so whatever, just don't invest money into Bitcoin that you can't lose. I would recommend that, because in the end it is a lottery. You should never play the lottery with money that you can't afford to lose. Thanks you guys for watching, and yeah. Anyways, and to be quite honest with you guys, if I had known at my last video that I made that Bitcoin was gonna go to that high of a value, I would have bought Bitcoin as well. But my assumption was that, with as volatile as it is, that it had reached its zenith pretty much at 900, at about $1,000, and now people are realizing that it's mostly an investment and it's gonna go down, which it did for a time, but now it's spiking like crazy. Anyways, have fun with your lottery, guys. I will keep watching. I'm actually very interested in it, and how that's going to go down, and how governments are going to regulate it, and how the central banking powers are going to deal with it. But I can absolutely guarantee you guys that the powers that are very powerful, because they control money and the printing of money and the exchange rates of money, they will not let this survive. Absolutely not. It's going to get regulated, probably first at the state level. You know, certain states are going to forbid it. They're going to go after people that have it. All right, they're probably going to use their NSA and so on, spy technology, to find the people that have it and that make transactions using it. And probably first China will regulate it. Russia already is thinking about it. And then later, probably the EU and the US are gonna come in as well. And then in places like India, maybe Africa, and so on, it'll probably go some time before getting regulated, simply because they don't have the technological capacity to regulate it there. But in the end, it's gonna be regulated everywhere, because if it weren't, the people that have the most power in this world would lose their power. They're not going to let that happen. Anyways, see you guys soon. Hope this helps. Have fun.